everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca and I'm here today with a houseplant unboxing update. I love doing these update videos because it is super fun to see where plants started in my collection and where they are now. I think that it's important to see the longevity of owning houseplants, what it looks like on the long term, because I think that's a really great motivation to keep plants even if they are frustrating sometimes, and just, I don't know, motivation to know that one day this plant that you have will look different someday, will look better, will look bigger. So the video that we're going to be going over, I posted on April 14th, 2020. So it has been a year and some change. I'd say, well, actually it's closer to 2 years. So I've had these plants for a long time and I've gotten to know them very well. And some of them have done really well and some of them have had quite the journey. So also wanted to give a big thank you to Storyworth for sponsoring this video. And I am so excited to tell you about them in a little bit. Let's get started with the first unboxing. It was an import from Green Spaces. Now, some of these plants I actually gave to Adam, and because he's very nice, I ended up getting a cutting off of the plant. So I'm able to actually show them to you in person, but not all of them that's the case, obviously. And I will see if I can get photos from him to see how they're doing now, but that's a lot of pressure for him and I don't really want him to feel like judged or something if they're not with us anymore, because import plants are kind of difficult to keep alive. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So let's see what the first plant is. So this first plant, I'm pretty certain is an Adaba poense, which I've never seen in person before. Plant here you can see, and we have a new growth that they mummy wrapped to protect it. That's something new, I like that. If you have been following me, you know that I have a cutting off of Adam's plant, and it is one of my favorite plants. I love this philodendron so much. I think it is really, really cool and just unique, and I talk about it quite often. This is what the leaves look like. They're a really nice bluish green hue. This is the newest leaf that it put out actually. It is a little bit long in the stem here, which probably indicates that it's not getting enough light. But the best part of these plants is definitely the back of the leaves. They are such a beautiful reddish color. I think this would be a really fun one to make a paper version of. If you saw my paper plants video, I made a Adansonii, and I think that this would be such a fun one just because of that leaf contrast. It might be kind of difficult finding this color in paper, but maybe I could achieve it with paint or something. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see another one of those videos, because I'm thinking about making another paper plant for my bedroom. But anyway, it's still alive and with us and very happy, and I'm going to put it back in its spot behind my head. Oh, that's so beautiful. Check it out. That is so pretty. Okay, so we have, oh, there's a new leaf coming out. It's like ready to go as well. Right there is the new leaf, and it's just like super ready. It's about to pop. So that's a beautiful specimen. Love this so much. I love the melanochrysum. This melanochrysum was very, very beautiful, but it did not make it, sadly. I was actually going to use it in a giveaway, so I was like super bummed about that, and I had talked about it as well, but in the process of getting it acclimated, it just didn't make it. When you import plants, you kind of have to assume that some of them aren't going to make it, which is kind of sad, but it's part of the risk of getting them usually for a cheaper price. Now, I haven't really looked into importing lately, but I have a feeling it's not as cheap as it used to be. So I don't know if I will ever import again. I might if I find a good place and it feels worth it to me. I'm not gonna rule it out, but also it just feels like it's a lot more convenient most of the time to just buy them from somebody else who's already done the work to acclimate them. I don't know, maybe if I have more space someday, I will do it and try it and do another one of those importing videos. But anyway, that one didn't make it. Let's move on. Oh, okay, this is a Billia TA. It looks okay. This leaf looks like it did not fare well in shipping. The other leaf looks like it did better. I don't see any new growth, but there might be new growth underneath all of this. But again, you know, this is super normal and I'm not super concerned about it. I feel like this leaf will hang on for a long time, like long enough for it to sustain another leaf. And it might be a part of the one leaf club for a while. But we will see. It just depends on how well it acclimates. Okay, this Billia TA is one of the plants that I gifted to Adam, and like I was not expecting that plant to do very well because it had that like mottling on the leaf. Like the leaf was like yellowing in like a really weird way that I'd never seen before. And actually those leaves hung on the plant for a very long time. Adam put some photos up on his Instagram, so I'll have those on the screen so you can see what it looks like now. I know for sure he's updated about that one, but yeah, I mean, it is just such a beautiful plant. It turned out super, super well. And recently I got a piece of it, which I'm so excited about. When I first ordered these plants, like I talked to Adam if he wanted some of them because I didn't need all of the plants that Green Spaces was going to send me. The Billia TA was a plant that I had literally never thought about before. I didn't even really know about it. And then when I saw it in person, I wasn't very impressed, so I was kind of glad that I didn't get that. And then it started growing and growing and growing, and then I was like, dang it, I really messed up. I really messed up giving that one to Adam. I'm joking, but yeah, it turned out to be a really beautiful plant, and now I have a piece of it and I'm super excited. I recently potted it up in soil. I showed that in a previous repotting / chores video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it up in the cards. We're going to take a brief moment to talk about our sponsor today, which is Storyworth. So it is the holiday season and we are into gift giving, and I have always been a very sentimental gift giver, but sometimes I just don't know what to do. So that's where Storyworth comes in. Storyworth is an online service that helps you and your loved ones preserve precious stories and memories from your family for years to come. Every week, Storyworth will email your loved one of choice a prompt, and they will get to answer the question and even insert photos if they would like. And for example, some of the questions are, what is the bravest thing you've ever done? Or if you could see into the future, what would you like to see? So after all the questions have been answered, Storyworth will combine all of them into a beautiful book like this. It's one of those books where the cover is really soft. I find that to be just so pleasing. Definitely cherry on top to all of this. And this is a hardcover, by the way, so that's really nice. It's a little bit more durable. And you can order as many copies as you want. So if you want to send them to multiple people, maybe you do this with grandma and you want to send it to all of your cousins and aunts and uncles or whoever else, it ships free and quickly. So this is a photo of my mom, if anybody was wondering, but I'm also really excited to do this with, for example, my grandparents, because they always have so many fun stories. And I find knowing your family history and just like knowing even your family's stories is such an important part of understanding you and your identity and just where you fit in all of this. I just think it's really cool to combine all of these things and sort of make your own book of your family history. So because of Storyworth, I'm able to give a thoughtful gift from the heart that preserves memories for years to come. And if you would like to check out Storyworth, you can head over to storyworth.com/plants and save $10 on your purchase. I will have all the information linked down below. And again, thank you so much to Storyworth for sponsoring this video. This is an Anthurium Forgetty Eye, which is a huge wish list plant for me. So it doesn't look amazing, but there is definitely potential for it to be okay. We have another leaf coming in, and it just looks like these two are just not so great, and then the rest of them look really nice. Okay, that Forgetty Eye was so tiny, and it just wasn't super healthy when I got it. It did have some yellow leaves, which again is very normal. And at that point in my life, I don't think that I really understood that Anthurium could be grown back from a stump. I mean, maybe I did, but I just didn't find it worth it because I had a lot of other plants that I was acclimating at the time. But basically what happened is it just slowly dwindled away and then it eventually died. So not that exciting, but it's just one of the casualties of importing. I know what it is. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Beauty. This is an Anthurium Magnificum. And this looks absolutely perfect. Look at that. And you know what's really cool about it? If you can see, the leaf edges have like a red color. That is really nice. That's a beautiful plant. So it has 2 leaves. Obviously a very chunky root system. I'm impressed. Okay, this Anthurium Magnificum is what it was sold to me as. A bunch of people while I had it told me that they thought it was like a Crystallinum Magnificum or some other Anthurium. And honestly, I feel like Anthurium is one of those types of plants that I think is so easy to misidentify. And reason being, you know, the Anthurium leaves, just plants in general actually, can look different plant to plant even though they are the same type. And you know, certain Crystallinums look different from each other, even though they're both crystallinum. It's just something that happens. And I feel like it's super common with Anthurium. I feel like it's not as common with plants like Monstera deliciosa because like pretty much all of them look the same. So I don't know, I just notice a lot of the time people getting a plant that's an Anthurium and thinking that it's one thing, and then other people being like, no, I think it's this. And I don't know, I just see it really often, and even if the seller is selling it as something, the buyer might think it's something else. I don't know, I see it quite often. So point is, the plant is no longer with me, which I'm very sad about. And I did, at the time that it died while I was living in this house. So it made the move, and it was a one leaf wonder for a very long time. And then eventually that leaf started going out and there wasn't a new one to replace it. I did have it in a greenhouse the entire time I had it, besides the move. And I think the move was just really hard on it, and it just eventually was like, I'm done, peace out. I did cut it down to a stump once I noticed that the leaf was like browning and everything, and it just didn't come back from the stump. So I think that it just was unhappy. I don't know, these things happen, unfortunately. I mean, I wish that I still had it because that plant was really beautiful, but it just didn't make it. Oh yes, oh yeah, that's so pretty. Okay, so this is a Philodendron melanochrysum cross varicosum, which was my #1 wish list plant. And oh my gosh, and the back of these leaves, it has the varicosum trait with the red color, and we have a new leaf coming in. This is so pretty. This is literally so beautiful. Okay, so this is what it looks like now, which kind of funny, honestly. It is turning out to be kind of a hanging plant, and I don't really like that. But this whole like downturn started happening right when I was about to leave for Hawaii. So you can see this is actually like more so what it looks like. And I had it in the greenhouse cabinet for a very long time, and it loved it in there. It literally like exploded with growth, and the growth was starting to get big again. The thing with this plant is the growth started getting smaller, and I think that's the melanochrysum in it. Like melanochrysum is just one of those plants that I just really don't like. I just have had so many issues with them all the time. They're so hard to get the big leaves, and even harder to maintain the big leaves, in my experience at least. Like, amazing if you had a different experience. For me, it was not good. So the leaves are starting to look a little bit more melanochrysum, and I would love for them to look more varicosum. When the plant was younger, like when I first got it, it had a very strong like varicosum look, which I love the varicosum. I'm actually considering getting another one, maybe seeing if this time it'll be a little bit different, because the one that I had, it just got spider mites all the time. And actually, it probably won't be any different, but maybe I've forgotten how much that hurt and it feels worth it to try again. But anyway, yeah. So this is what it looks like now. I would really like to chop and prop it and maybe see if I can get some wet sticks going just to see. But basically it has a really long bare stem here, which is pretty perfect for wet stick operations. And then we have all of these beautiful leaves, which are still, of course, very beautiful. And I did find out that this plant has a name. It is not Philodendron melanochrysum varicosum, which is extremely long. It's called the Philodendron splendid. So if you are wanting one of these, if you've ever seen mine and like been interested, it's called a Philodendron splendid. That was a bit of a tongue twister for some reason. It doesn't look like it's in its prime right now, because it's not. I need to do some work on it, but I'm thinking about kind of letting it ride out for the winter and then really tackling it in the spring. I don't know though, because it's outgrown its pole. I need to do something about it. Maybe I'll do that in a future video, but yeah, this is what it looks like. I just don't want to do anything rash and lose the plant, because it really is one of my favorite plants in my collection. Like, I would probably save this in a fire, if I'm honest. I just really love it. Oh, okay, Cody, you asked me about this plant. Okay, so this is a Philodendron horsehead. Look at how cute. It's so pretty. Wow, that's a really, really beautiful piece. And there's a new leaf coming out as well. Oh my gosh, this horsehead. I forgot that he also sent me that. I don't remember what happened to that plant, if I'm honest. I feel like it didn't make it, because I genuinely don't know where it is. I don't have it anymore, but I don't remember what happened to it. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes. But yeah, I wish that I remembered. but I don't. I'm sorry. Okay, so this next unboxing was from the Backwoods Boutique Exclusive and Rare Plants. I don't even know if this group still exists because I kind of stopped seeing updates from them. A grower or a nursery owner, I don't really remember, but they would just show their inventory to people on this Facebook group. They had a little spreadsheet and you could just put in an order with what you wanted and they had the quantity and whatever. So it felt like a little, it felt very unconventional for buying things online, but it worked out really great for me. I got some really cool stuff from them and I do still have, I think, both of the items that I purchased from them. Whoa. This thing is huge. Oh, wow. This is an Anthurium regale, which was a huge wishlist plant for me as well. So we have this leaf, which looks really nice. This leaf, which looks like one of the older leaves. And then we have a brand new leaf right here. If you can see that like little coppery color. That is absolutely incredible. This plant has been a horrible plant for me to own. I'm just gonna be honest. It has been very difficult. It has made me work very hard for this leaf and no others. Basically what happened was when I got the plant, it was beautiful. Obviously, it's an Anthurium regale. Let me show you a close-up of this leaf. Wow, she is gorgeous. Okay, so what happened is I got it and the soil was a little moist, but not like super wet. And I wanted to just give it a second. And again, these were some of my first Anthurium purchases. Just want to make that clear as well. So I still really had no clue what I was doing. I still kind of don't, but I had even less ideas than I do currently. So basically what happened is I didn't water it as soon as I got it, which I don't usually do anyway with plants in the mail. Like I just kind of give them a day or two to rest. But I went away for the weekend or something right after I opened it and I came back and it was completely shriveled up and looked horrible and I thought that I had killed it. And then I talked to Ella from the Plants Meow and I was one of those people that messaged somebody on Instagram for plant advice. Which I never do, but I was desperate, honestly. I understand why people do it. In that moment, I understood. Anyway, she told me that I could just cut off all the foliage and just keep watering it like I normally would and it would be fine. And she was right. It did end up putting out another leaf. It put out one single leaf and then that one was on the plant for probably like a year and it did get a bacterial spot on it from not having good airflow in my bathroom where I kept it. And it eventually ended up like taking over the leaf and then it was half a leaf for a long time and then eventually that leaf just died and I was really annoyed because at that point it was in my greenhouse cabinet and I was like, you know what, you need to do something or you're gonna go and get sold or get thrown away because I'm just like over this. So I beheaded it and I put it in a big Ziploc bag inside of the greenhouse because apparently 80% humidity is not enough. We need like 100% or something. And then it put out this leaf, which is really beautiful and really impressive. And I hope that this is a new beginning for this plant because if not, I don't know. This leaf kind of makes me want to keep trying like forever and ever, but it feels worth it in this moment that I've put so much work into it. I'm nervous. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, look at that new leaf. Okay, this is an Anthurium Forgetty Eye. This is the second one I'm unboxing in this video. And I have to admit that this one looks much better. And the soil spillage was a lot better contained in this package. So they did saran wrap it. So this does look exactly like the photos that they had on their Google Sheets page. Can you see how that leaf has like a little orangey tint? This plant has also kind of been through the ringer. It was the one that kind of held on through all of the BS that I put it through, and it doesn't look great right now. It is a one leaf wonder, and it was not before, but basically all the leaves, like there were some original leaves like from the original plant when I got it and they just looked really bad, so I cut them off to hopefully encourage new growth, like new leaves. And then it did start putting out a new leaf which looked really promising and then I broke it off. Yeah, I did that. And I've never really been a person to do that. I'm always very careful with my plants. I hardly ever drop them or break off new growth points, but I've been doing that lately. And I don't know what that says about me. I don't know if I'm getting older. I don't know if I'm getting lazy, but I broke off the growth point and I haven't seen anything new come up yet, but it does have some like new roots that I can see, so it's doing fine. It's just annoying that it's one leaf and it was gonna be two and then I ruined it. So anyway, it's fine. I still have it and I do still like this plant. I like that the leaves are very big. I love a big Forgetty Eye leaf. Woohoo! Look at that! All right, I'm trying to minimize the mess here. Okay, so this is a Hoya callistophyla, which is one of the Hoyas that I thought I would never find. So when I saw that they had it in stock, I like jumped on that very quickly. So this is what it looks like. You can see the plant has really, really distinct veining on these leaves, and it's just so striking. And there are a lot of leaves on this plant. Oftentimes I see people buying these from overseas and then the plant has like 2 leaves on it. But thankfully those plants do, you know, they do grow more leaves. But I just was really excited to find a established vine here. And the last plant in this whole haul was this one, my Hoya callistophyla. And I actually bought this from Tennessee Tropicals, one of my favorite places to buy plants online. And it pretty much looks exactly the same as when I bought it, which is kind of sad, but yeah, I ended up cutting off a piece that was the active growth point to give to somebody else, like as a thank you. And since then it has put out 1 leaf, which was this, wait, which one was it? Oh, this really long one right here. But other than that, we've got nothing. And I honestly think that it's because it doesn't get much light and I probably should also fertilize it. So it's just one of those plants, like Hoya, if you don't give them what they want, they'll live, they'll be fine, but they're not gonna grow, you know? So I hear a lot of people asking like, oh, why isn't my Hoya growing? Well, it's probably because it's not getting enough light, probably not watering it frequently enough. I don't know, I don't know about watering, but like it's probably not getting enough light, because all my Hoya that get lots of light are extremely happy and put out a lot of growth. And I think that really is what it comes down to. I think that Hoya are a lot bigger light plants than we want to think. But yeah, I haven't given that plant the care that it deserves. And I kind of feel like I want to. Light and humidity. It needs more light and more humidity. So we'll see what I can do for that plant. But in any case, I'm glad that it's just still here because it's really beautiful and really cool. So yeah, that's all the plants from that video. So I hope that you enjoyed a little bit of reality, plant reality, seeing what the plants actually look like years later, because I think that's super important and might help you to not buy a plant if you don't like the way it looks now, or encourage you to buy the plant because you do like the way it looks now, and all the possibilities that can come with that. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you so much to Storyworth for sponsoring this video. They are so cool. Seriously, go check them out in the description box below. It's perfect for gifts. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and share my channel with a planty friend. I really, really would love to get to 60K soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be there by the time this video posts, but who knows? Who knows, honestly. Thank you for your support anyway, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.